Hey guys, my name's Adam if this is your first time here, and today's topic is books you would recommend to someone. And here's the thing is, I don't really read a whole lot of fiction when I read. I read a lot of biographies on professional wrestlers. I think that's pretty well known, and that's what this video is going to end up being about. I also read books on, books where I learn things, books on how to write comedy is one that I really enjoy. Books on marketing, because I want to make this channel better, and books on storytelling. I read a lot of books on Joseph Campbell's Hero with a Thousand Faces and things like that, which talks about the monomyth, things where I learn. So these are things that I wouldn't really recommend to someone else because they may not interest very many people. So since I know a lot of people here are interested in professional wrestling, I'm going to go through and sort of talk about a few professional wrestling books, ones I recommend, ones I don't really recommend, and what I think of all of them. So I've got a stack here, and these are mostly not ones that I would really... These are not my favorite ones. I don't know what the heck happened to my Hulk Hogan book here, but it's it's seen better days. It looks like something's been spilt on it. This is one that I wouldn't recommend to anyone. Anyone that's read it knows that there's a whole bunch of lies in this book. Lies, bullshit, whatever. So we're going to throw this one away. That particular Hulk Hogan book, there was a story where he says he spotted a kid he went to the UK for that one pay-per-view that Bret Hart and Davey Boy headlined, and he said he was out there and he saw a kid that had cancer and he waved to him or something, and then people found out that not only was he not on that pay-per-view, since Bret and Davey Boy headlined it, he was not even working for the company during that year. So complete fabrication, not even close to truth. This one is another one that I would fall into, that I would put into that category. Not that... I don't think that this was so much that Shawn Michaels lied. This is Shawn Michaels' original book. But there was a shoot interview that was done a few years before that, and basically everything that was in the book contradicted what was in that shoot interview. I think a lot of it, I kind of consider it just a WWE product. This one I would recommend reading, but it's not as good as it could have been. However, what this one does remind me of is the Jerry the King Lawler It's Good to Be the King book, and I would say that ranks among my favorites. So I would recommend, yeah, you should probably read this for the historical significance and to familiarize yourself with Ric Flair's career. However, I would also say Jerry Lawler's is a lot better, and that also reminds me of this one. This one I'm told is a rare book. I picked this up in Calgary. I just went to a used bookstore and was like, oh, Dynamite Kid's got a book I didn't even know. Picked it off the shelf and read it, and as you can see, it's actually seen better days. I've lent this to just about everyone in the pro wrestling scene out in Calgary who wanted to borrow it, and it's seen a lot better days. But, yeah. Oh, I paid $11. I just looked it up. It's worth $40 right now, so that's kind of cool. This book is a good book. I would recommend reading it. However, it's a short book, and the one that I would really recommend is the one that I relate to this, and that's Bret Hart's book. If you get your hands on Bret Hart's book, and it's not hard to find like that book, but that book is probably the most interesting out of all of the pro wrestling books. And that one, Bret and Dynamite Kid actually came up in the wrestling ranks together, and he talks a lot about Dynamite Kid. And Dynamite's book is very sort of biased. He doesn't really give anyone very much credit, and he has a very rose-colored view on himself. Whereas Bret's a little bit biased too. Bret kind of has a knock for... He kind of tells the truth, but he's also kind of got a knock on everybody along the way. But his view on Dynamite is far from rose-colored. He definitely tells a lot more about Dynamite. And you definitely get to see who Dynamite Kid is as a person in Bret's book a lot more than in his own book. So that's pretty cool. And Bret's book kind of touches on it. Kind of every single character in the pro wrestling world comes across Bret, and Bret kind of has a little bit to say about all of them. So ultimately what I'm really trying to say is the book that I would recommend is Bret Hart's book, My Real Life in the Cartoon World of Pro Wrestling, and fittingly or ironically enough, I don't have that book on me right now. I don't know where it is. It's in storage somewhere. But that's the one I would recommend if you're into pro wrestling. And the Jerry Lawler book. I definitely recommend that one too. That one's probably, if I were to make a movie out of a, not that I would ever get a chance to make a movie, but if there was ever a book that I would say should be made into a movie, it would probably be the Jerry Lawler book. However, the Bret Hart book gives the most insight. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. This is actually a pretty long video. That's all I've got to say about these books for today. Thanks for watching, and I hope you had a good day.